Hello everyone, I'm not sure you can hear me. Um, okay, I believe this is typey. Yeah, that's me, typey. I'll just shitpost this in Doughboy's Discord because whoa, I made it to a BB thing. Well, I'm glad you're elated about that. Uh, I'm not sure why this looks like it's frozen. No, it actually doesn't. Whatever. I'm just a whatever. Hi everyone. The fuck? Okay. Uh, Tauntaun, did you already know? Okay, whatever. I'll just do it myself. Um, I hear you loud and gay. That's what I am, baby. Loud and gay. Um, hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the topic that literally nobody wants to hear about anymore. That fucking everyone is sick. You have something, you having to do something on your own. I know it is terrible. I have gotten used to you doing things for me. I've become complacent. What I wanted to say before I interrupted myself was today we're going to talk about the topic that everyone is already sick of, which is cicada. Yes, that stupid gay meme ARG insect puzzle. Also probably the thing that will bring about the destruction of the entire planet. Okay, please fuck off. Thank you, Discord. Thank you. Um, this stream is probably going to be a severely low effort one. This is because there is both very much to talk about and fucking nothing to talk about. And I'm just going to start right off. 331. That should be okay. 2012. We start right at the beginning. In here we have no. What? Please. Okay, whatever. I'll need to. What? This is not a. Okay, whatever. I'll start right at the beginning. I am confident that you can see this. Maybe you can. Oh fuck, you can't actually see the image. One sec. Haha. Jawohl. Das entfernen wir und wir machen Bildschirmaufnahme. No. Okay, great. Our little journey begins here with this image. In 2012, the elusive 3301 group uploaded this picture. And it said, hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. And from here, we were sent on a wild goose chase. This image played a role along the way. This one too. This one too. This one too. This is a cicada. This is a QR code. This is another QR code on a lamppost. Another one. I'm not sure where I got this from. Not sure what this is from. This is the last thing, or the last picture that cicada put out in that year. And it reads, hello, we have now found the individuals we sought. Thus our month-long journey ends. For now. Thank you for your dedication and effort. If you were unable to complete the test or did not receive an email, do not despair. This is essentially the fuck off message for everyone who didn't make it through. But we kind of skipped a lot of stuff along the way. And I'm going to talk about some of that. And I believe we will have an enlightening stream. So, one of the first communications that Cicada ever put out is this message. And I'm gonna make it a little bigger so that everyone can see it. And it reads, from here on out, we will cryptographically sign all messages with this key. It is available on the MIT key servers. key ID 7A35090F, as posted in this subreddit. Patience is a virtue. Good luck, 3301. This message is the most important one they ever put out. This message manifests their usage of PGP, as it says right here, GNU PG, for the following years. This is now disputed by quite a lot of people, but they are wrong and probably stupid. And truly, from that point on, really all the messages that we could find from them were signed. Otherwise, we couldn't really determine that it was from them. These are coordinates. In 29 volumes, knowledge was once contained, and I'm not going to give context to these messages, except in the later part. In 29 volumes, knowledge was once contained. But how many lines of the code remained when the Mabinogion passed? Go that far in from the beginning and find my first name. I believe these 29 volumes refer to the Encyclopedia Dramatica. I don't actually know what this book code translates to. A poem of fading death named for a king, meant to be read once and vanish. Alas, it could not remain unseen. Not sure what that was. This is all 2012 shit. Congratulations, blah blah blah. So far, we haven't seen a lot of lore from them and their messages. Like, it's not that they exposed a particular ideology so far. Miss Round 1, Care for a Second Chance, and then an imager link that I'm going to open right now. Okay, this one, we don't really care about that one. This message will only be displayed once. Here is a message that has been encrypted with the RSA, crypt RSA Perl module available in CPAN. Oh yeah, and then this is something that I discussed on an earlier stream of mine, where they give us an RSA encrypted message and the public key. And the task is now, or that was now, to break this number down into two factors. The encrypted message is a number. Break the decryption key, then come back to the same URL and enter the decrypted message to continue. Blah blah blah. You have shared your information online. You are now removed from this altogether. Even if you crack the key you've been given, it doesn't matter, because you've demonstrated that you can't be trusted to follow simple instructions anyway. Okay, this is kind of the fuck you message. The song is your own path, another stop on the road toward enlightenment. Follow it and share not. This thing was part of the MIDI puzzle. Some of you may have heard of this. Cicada really only ever espoused 3 pieces of music. In fact, only 2. 2 songs from 2013 and 14 respectively were little guitar medleys. Nothing too interesting, a bit mysterious. I may play some of it if I find it in my files. This audio file was only on the surface level an audio file. It was in fact a puzzle that required some lateral thinking, I want to say, to solve. This one is some shit. I mean, someone leaked this. Apparently this is a message from Cicada that they gave you once you made it in. Apparently it has been decanaried, which means it has been stripped of information that could lead to a potential source. There is a strategy of putting canaries in a text. If you have 10 people and you have to give, and you suspect there is a leaker among them, you give each of them slightly different versions of text that are not automatically detectable, like intuitively. But from the placement of a comma or a period or something, you can, if they are leaked, to determine who leaked them, because only their version has the specific mark. Congratulations, your month of testing has now come to an end. Out of the thousands who attempted it, you are one of the few who have succeeded. There is one last step, although there will not be any hidden cost or secret messages or physical treasure hunts. This last step is only honesty. We have been honest with you, and we shall continue to be honest with you. and we expect you to be honest with us in return. This is a message that you got once you're in. Keep that in mind. You have all wondered who we are, and so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name, we have no symbol, we have no membership rosters. We do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves very much like you have by completing this recruitment contest. And we are drawn together by common beliefs. A careful reading of the text used in this contest would have revealed some of these beliefs: that tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. We are not a hacker group, nor are we a wares group. We do not engage in illegal activity, nor do our members. If you are engaged in illegal activity, we ask that you cease any and all illegal activities or decline membership at this time. We will not ask questions if you decline. However, if you lie to us, we will find out. You are undoubtedly wondering what it is that we do. We are much like a think tank, in that our primary focus is on researching and developing techniques to aid the ideas we advocate: liberty, privacy, security. You have undoubtedly heard of a few of our past projects, and if you choose to accept membership, we are happy to have you on board to help with future projects. Please reply to this email with the answers to the next few questions to continue. Do you believe that every human being has a right to privacy and anonymity, and is within their rights to use tools which help obtain and maintain privacy cache strong enough? What? Privacy cache, strong encryption, anonymity software, etc. Oh. Do you believe that information should be free? Do you believe that censorship harms humanity? We look forward to hearing from you. I hear that Marcus leaked this thing, but I can't be sure. Yeah, this is the outguess of the last image. And this is kind of all that we have for 2014. We can look through the images. Oh, I already did that. They're not that interesting. Now we go to 2013, where things start to be a bit more interesting. Okay, this is not... The fuck is this? Okay. This is the first book code that we got. Welcome again. Here is a book code. To find the book, break this riddle. A book whose study is forbidden, once dedicated to a beast, to be read once and then destroyed, or you shall have no peace. I believe the poem that this referred to was Agrippa by Philip K. Dick, I believe. And a special thing about this poem is that it was sold on a floppy drive. And once you read the floppy drive, it would show the text once and then automatically decrypt itself on the floppy disk, so that you really only could read it once. And this little book code led to a URL where you could download an ISO image, which is effectively a zip file. It contains lots of data in there. And this was a message that we found in there. The key is all around you. So far, nothing too strange yet. This is an empty message, which will... Okay, essentially, it is a shortcoming of PGP that if you have a message that consists only of blanks, you can... if you can treat a space and a tab as zeros and ones. And in their formations, you can kind of write zeros and ones with them, and if you convert the octets back to ASCII, you can write text with them. However, they do not count for the creation of a PGP signature. This PGP signature here is only a PGP signature of 8 new lines or whatever it is, or 13. So a lot of people have alleged that PGP is insecure because you can put anything into this message, encode it in spaces and tabs, and it would still verify. However, if we are totally honest with this, oh fuck, what is that message now? One sec. Okay. However, if we take a quick look at this message and try to verify it, verify. We will see that this is signed in 2013. That is, if you see a message these days and it consists of white spaces and tabs, and it is verified in 2013, someone is fooling you. Okay, let's continue. Blah, blah, blah. Come to blah, blah, blah. This is another message from them. This was pretty cool. This was some web browser, rather some TCP server shit that we had to dial into. Blah, blah, blah. You can't see the forest when you're looking at the trees. Okay. Some pram numbers. Patience is a virtue, which means come back soon. You already have everything you need to continue. Sometimes one must knock on the sky and listen to the sound. This was a very subtle hint to send pings to a certain server and retrieve, I believe, 32 byte in additional ping data. It was very subtle. Well done, you have come far, blah, blah, blah. If you followed the rule but did not receive an email, send us an email to let us know at C, blah, blah, blah. Make sure your PGP key is accessible, okay? Still, not a lot of lore. Let's look at the pictures. Oh yeah, this is the questionnaire that we had to go through at the end of the 2013 solo round. Essentially, we got these questions and we had to then answer, or rather, pick one of these choices. I don't know what exactly mine were. I'm not sure that. I mean, they said that this is not about you finding the right or wrong answer, but just figuring out how to think. Some of these answers, however, are a bit prophetic. For example, this thing. Okay, true and false are very clearly true or false. Indeterminate and meaningless are okay. All of these terms appear in a book that Cicada would reference later. The strongest indications of that are, rather indicators of that are self-referential, game rule, strange loop, and none of the above. This book, Gödel Escherbach, that they would reference later, is a treatise on self-referential systems and rules and strange loops and stuff like that. And I will explain that in a bit, what these are. What you are is more important than what you do. The mathematical operation known as addition is modeled after what? You cannot step into the same river twice. Two people are standing by a lake. One says, "That's a lovely reflection in the water." The other says, "I see no reflection, but it's a fascinating assortment of fish, plants, and rocks within the water." Which one is lying? This sentence is false, and this is absolutely beautiful. Because this book, Gödel Escherbach, fuck it, I'll see if I can find it. Because this book, Gödel Escherbach, starts with talking about oh, come on, please. Oh, come on. Thank you. It starts out by talking about what Gödel did with logic. Where can we find this? Musicological offering, that is Rice Car. Okay. Because essentially what Gödel did was he proved that mathematics cannot be both consistent and complete. In its absolutely barest form, Gödel's discovery involves the translation of an ancient paradox in philosophy into mathematical terms. That paradox is the so-called Epimenides paradox, or liar paradox. Epimenides was a Cretan who made one immortal statement: all Cretans are liars. This is the book Gödel Escherbach, by the way. A sharper version of the statement is simply, "I am lying," or "this statement is false," which is precisely the wording that we have well, not precisely, but pretty much the statement that we have here. Um, it is that last version which I will usually mean when I speak of the Epimenides paradox. It is a statement which rudely violates the usually assumed dichotomy of statements into true and false, because if you tentatively think it's true, then it immediately backfires on you and makes you think it is false. But once you've decided it is false, a similar backfiring returns you to the idea that it must be true. Try it. This Epimedes paradox is a one-step strange loop, like Escher's print gallery. But how does it have to do with mathematics? This is what Gödel discovered. His idea was to use mathematical reasoning in exploring mathematical reasoning itself. This notion of making mathematics introspective proved to be enormously powerful, and perhaps its richest implication was the one Gödel found, Gödel's incompleteness theorem. What the theorem states and how it is proved are two different things. We shall discuss both in quite some detail in this book. This theorem can be likened to a pearl and the method of proof to an oyster. Gödel's theorem appears as Proposition 6 in his 1931 paper on formally undecidable propositions in Principia Mathematica, a book by Bertrand Russell, and related systems. It states, to every W consistent recursive class K of blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Gödel had the insight that a statement of number theory could be about a statement of number theory, possibly even itself, if only numbers could somehow stand for statements. The idea of a code, in other words, is at the heart of its construction. In the Gödel code, usually called Gödel numbering, numbers are made to stand for symbols and sequences of symbols. Essentially, what he did was he used mathematics to make a point about mathematics, proved that you can make a statement in mathematics that cannot be proven within the system, and thus prove that there are always statements in any kind of system strong enough to birth arithmetics. Without it, I mean, you can either have it complete or consistent. That is, there are either contradictions or you can prove everything. And this is kind of what they were talking about in 2013, when the allusions to Gödel, Escher, Bach were not as strong as they would later become. But let's keep looking at the survey questions. Disregarding color blindness. Disregarding color blindness, any arbitrary color looks the same to all people. Explain in your own words what mathematical principle is relied upon for the security of Shamir's secret sharing scheme. I'm not going to explain what it is. It is pretty obscure. In fact, we have joked internally that Adi Shamir, the guy behind, this guy Shamir, that he is behind 3301 and kind of shoehorned his scheme into there just that someone would actually use it. Name similarities between reality and the concept of the news feed on Facebook. 1 equals 0.9 period. Now, this is a counterintuitive thing, maybe, but it is absolutely true. 0.9 period is, or the 0.9 continuing, however you want to say it, is an accurate and complete representation of 1. If you don't believe me, look it up. People who only study material after a test do better than those who do not study at all. Grass is only green due to a relationship between the grass, light, and your mind. All things are true. I am the voice inside my head. Beautiful. In 2013, they already talked about the voice inside your head. They would expound on that quite a bit in 2014. You undoubtedly just thought, I don't have a voice in my head. That is the voice the question is referring to. Please keep that in mind. We get hundreds of millions of sensations coming into our minds at any moment. Our brain can't process them all, so it categorizes these signals according to our belief system. This is why we find evidence to support our belief and rarely notice evidence to the contrary. If A is not true, then it must be. You may ponder that one yourself. And in the programming language of your choice, write a function that returns the value 3301. I actually fucked this one up because I write a function, not write a function that returns a function. It is a bit of function as first class object fuckery, not important. Observation changes the thing being observed. This is apparently true if you think about stuff like the double slit experiment. What does the word "it" refer to in the following sentence? It is dark outside. I struggled with this question a lot. And I believe we're done for now with 2013. Whatever. Okay, we now go to 2012, and this is where things really get interesting, because 2014, as far as I can tell, is the year where they actually I'm gonna go back a step. This is the year where they expanded on most of their lore. And to really make a point here, let's look at the first image of 2013 again. Hello again. Our search for intelligent individuals now continues. The first clue is hidden within this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck, 3301. Okay, now keep in mind what this text just said. The 2014 introductory image reads, "Hello, Epiphany is upon you. Your pilgrimage has begun. Enlightenment awaits." Please notice that this introductory image does not talk about finding them, or recruitment, or another chance, or whatever. It is about Epiphany, your pilgrimage, and enlightenment. This collage is these four pictures, bottom here, left, right, and top, is a collage of pictures made from book covers from an author called William Blake. This guy is called Goya, with Rasputin in the background. This BEW of y equals 3x is a Gödel equation, I believe. This is an Escher drawing. And what else was in 2014 was, oh, no, we don't have it in here. But at some point in the puzzle, we found an MP3 of a Bach piece. And if you think back, Gödel, Escher, Bach, it would lead us to this book right here, Gödel, Escher, Bach, which is a beautiful book. Every one of you should read it, if you can. If you ask me, I may even upload the PDF of it. I said that 2014 was the most lore-heavy year. Okay, let me read chat real quick. German terminal is weird. Fuck you. We should get the Fango in here. I mean, if you want. Mugsy, nice to see you. 4D, nice to see you. Pure Rays, okay. Ridley, nice to see you. Jubo, nice to see you. Shekels, fuck you, box. Up the volume a little. I shall up the volume a little. Shekels are dumb. I actually have a sack of shekels right here. Okay. We are now going to look at the biggest collection of lore that we have from Cicada to this day. And it is the Liber Primus. Yes, the infamous Liber Primus. People like DeFango and Genki these days throw around that phrase as though it is a mystical thing, as though it, I don't know, is ancient knowledge or ancient philosophy. No. Liber Primus, as far as we know, is a book by Carl Gustav Jung, who was a German or Swiss or Austrian psychoanalyst, an early one. And it is a collection of runes that Cicada put out, rather 3301 put out. That's it. As far as we know, Liber Primus is nothing else. Liber Primus was given to us through these pictures right here. I'm gonna open one real quick. Thank you for not... You're fucking serious. Huh. 2.jpg. Brilliant term, lurker. Great. Liber Primus was given to us in these runes. And you may wonder, well, how do we decode these runes? We were given the key by Cicada 3301 in 2013, I believe. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, a bunch of fakes in here. Yes, this is the so-called Gematria Primus. A Gematria is kind of a translation table. It is of Hebrew origin. And this thing, if we zoom in closely, contains these runes and the English equivalent. You can just, oh shit, you can just translate them or substitute them, except that you can't. But I will get into that maybe later. Notice that some of these, oh fuck me, that some of these runes have 2 letters in the English equivalent, have either IA or IO, for example, NG or ING, or TH up here. And this makes crypt analysis really, really, really hard. Maybe I will talk about that at some other time. But anyway, I was going to talk about Liber Primus. And Liber Primus was given to us in these pages. Some of them were encrypted, some of them were unencrypted. And I'm just going to read through the text and give my musings, my opinions on them. If you don't like it, I mean, you can always just drink bleach. Okay. It starts off with the name of the book, Liber Primus, which means first book. There are some alternative translations offered, but none of them are very plausible. It begins, a warning. Believe nothing from this book except what you know to be true. Test the knowledge, find your truth, experience your death. Do not edit or change this book or the message contained within, either the words or the numbers, for all is sacred. Chapter 1 enters, which means as much as introduction. And the page that follows I absolutely love. Welcome, welcome, pilgrim, to the great journey toward the end of all things. It is not an easy trip, but for those who find their way here, it is a necessary one. Along the way, you will find an end to all struggle and suffering, your innocence, your illusions, your certainty, and your reality. Ultimately, you will discover an end to self. I just love this introductory sentence. Welcome, pilgrim, to the great journey toward the end of all things. Like, damn, is there a way to set the stakes, higher? I don't think there is. It is through this pilgrimage that we shape ourselves and our realities. Journey deep within, and you will arrive outside. Like the instar, it is only through going within that we may emerge. So, what I believe is they are referring to looking inside yourself in order to discover something inside. Now they offer some wisdom. You are a being unto yourself. You are a law unto yourself. Each intelligence is holy, for all that lives is holy. An instruction, command your own self. Now you can debate what this means exactly. It is easy to believe that they advertise you behaving with pretty much a disregard for other people and for their norms. I'm not sure if they are quite that anarchistic. I believe it is more about thinking rather changing your thought structure so that you can think differently if you want to. They continue with wisdom. The primes are sacred. The Toshan function is sacred. And this actually comes into play a bit later. All things should be encrypted. know this, and then a magic square. And we see that, let's look at this page. We see that we have these numbers and we have these runes. It turns out that if you go to the Gematria Primus, oh my, that you can, Jesus Christ, that if you assign these runes a consecutive prime, that is F to 2, U to 3, TH to 5, that you can add up these values, and that these values sometimes, or rather often, add up to prime numbers, and sometimes create meaning throughout phrases, where we have a phrase and another phrase, and their gematria values are palindromes. That is, you have 761 and 167, for example. Stuff like this. It is a very elegant and very simple and very smart construction. And likewise, you can translate these words to gematria values themselves, and someone has done that here. And then it apparently forms a perfect square. A perfect square is a set of numbers that if you add the rows, or add all the rows, you get to a number. If you add all the columns, you get to a certain number. And if you add the diagonals together, you get to a certain number. And it's always the same number. And this is kind of the magic between the magic square. Okay, here is where kind of the lore begins. A koan. A man decided to go and study with a master. He went to the door of the master. "Who are you who wishes to study here?" asked the master. The student told the master his name. "That is not who you are, that is only what you are called." "Who are you who wishes to study here?" he asked again. The man thought for a moment and replied, "I am a professor." "That is what you do, not who you are," replied the master. "Who are you who wishes to study here?" Confused, the man thought some more. Finally he answered, "I am a human being." "That is only your species, not who you are. Who are you who wishes to study here?" asked the master again. After a moment of thought, the professor replied, "I am a consciousness inhabiting an arbitrary body." "That is merely what you are, not who you are. Who are you who wishes to study here?" The man was getting irritated. "I am," he started, but he could not think of anything else to say, so he trailed off. After a long pause, the master replied, "Then you are welcome to study." This is, as the title says, a koan. Now, what is a koan? A koan is and I hope that Illustrious is here, so he can correct me if he chooses to, and I speak nonsense. A koan is an allegorical story in Zen Buddhism, was predominantly in Zen Buddhism. Now, I'm no expert in Zen Buddhism. I find it to be a bit wacky, but whatever. It is supposed to be, as far as I understand, a paradoxical tale that is usually held in the in dialogue form, a student and a master, and they reply and go back and forth. And in the end, the student receives a counterintuitive answer, but is enlightened. Much the same happens here, because the man starts his broken sentence, "I am," but he kind of gets lost in his thought and doesn't know any answer. And then the master suddenly grants him entrance, because the man exhausted all the things that he could possibly be. And in the end, the final statement that remains is, "I am," which is apparently all that the master wanted to hear from him. What follows next is this thing, an instruction. Do 4 unreasonable things each day. I never knew how to interpret that, or why the number 4. It is a bit strange if you ask me, even if you look at the page decoration. Oh, come on, thank you. Like with this old guy on top here, I always found it a bit strange. I'm not sure how they define an unreasonable thing. If I were to offer my interpretation, it would be it would be a command to act outside your box, as to align your thinking with to kind of break out of your regular thought pattern. What follows next is pretty important, I believe, because it is very concrete. The laws of divinity. The circumference practices three behaviors which cause the laws of divinity. Okay, so we have a circumference apparently, and it does three things, and if we do these things, we lose our divinity. And these three things are consumption. We consume too much because we believe the following two errors within the deception. Okay, there is a deception. First, we do not have enough, or there is not enough. Second, we have what we have now by luck, and we will not be strong enough later to obtain what we need. Most things are not worth consuming. I believe it is this addresses our primal need to hold on to things, to be territorial about things, to hoard resources, which they say is behavior that is caused by deception. Because in the end, most things are not worth consuming. The second behavior is preservation. We preserve things because we believe we are weak. If we lose them, we will not be strong enough to gain them again. This is the deception. Essentially, from what I can tell, they make the case that we should evolve beyond our most basic needs to survive, and rely on the fact that we are in fact strong enough to gather resources no matter what, and that we do not need to hoard them and to keep track of them and to protect them. The things you own end up owning you. That's kind of the idea behind it. The third thing is adherence. We follow dogmas so that we can belong and be right, or we follow reasons that we can belong and be right. There is nothing to be right about. To belong is death. It is the behaviors of consumption, preservation, and adherence that have us lose our primality and thus our divinity. So there is there is a circumference, and this circumference is practice three behaviors. And if we do these, we lose our divinity and our primality. From what I can tell, what they call circumference is, you could call it an ego. Scientologists, that's for you, Tauntaun, would call it a reactive mind. Maybe you could call it the amygdala. Something that causes you to not live up to a higher nature, but instead keeps you in a state of low consciousness, keeps you concerned about material things, forces you to micromanage things, forces you to obsess over your survival and your resources and all the things you have. Now this is where it gets a bit contradictory, because they continue, some wisdom, amass great wealth. Why would we amass great wealth? That never made sense to me. But then never become attached to what you own. Be prepared to destroy all that you own. Now, I like the last two things because it kind of goes hand in hand with the idea of Zen Buddhism, which this is clearly influenced by. But why would, amassing great wealth doesn't make sense in this context, at least not from what I can tell. They continue, an instruction, program your mind, program reality. These two lines are some of the most often cited ones, really without context, because they sound edgy and cool, and they make you sound like a teenager who believes he's cool because he read The Matrix. And if you really, or rather, seen The Matrix and you think you get it, and if you are one of these people, you are a problem. They continue with another koan. During a lesson, the master explained the eye. The eye is the voice of the circumference. Okay, The circumference is a thing that makes us consume, adhere, and preserve. And the I, the ego, if you want to call it that way, is the voice to express these worries and these behaviors. When asked by a student to explain what he meant, the master said, "It is a voice inside your head." "I don't have a voice in my head," thought the student, and he raised his hand to tell the master. The master stopped the student and said, "The voice that you just said you have no voice in your head is the I," and the students were enlightened. Now, if you think back to a while ago, this is precisely the question that we had in the survey. And this is kind of the interconnectedness. By the way, interconnectedness is hugely important for Cicada. This interconnectedness is what made the puzzles really elegant, because they would do these foreshadowings and backtrackings, and it's just great. They end with an instruction. Question all things. Discover truth inside yourself. Follow your truth. Impose nothing on others. These rune pages are the biggest chunk of runes that we have decrypted from Cicada. What follows is 56 pages of unsolved runes, and we have done a lot to try and decode them, like a fucking lot. Ironically enough, these two pages, no, come on, this one and this one are the only two pages that have ever been decrypted. This one was in plain text. Actually, you could just substitute it. This one was actually decrypted by Clouage and Totri. They are fucking heroes for that. And I will just read what they say. An end. Within the deep web, there exists a page that hashes to, and so forth. It is the duty of every pilgrim to seek out this page. What a hash is kind of a digital fingerprint of a set of data, and is more or less guaranteed to be unique, within reason. Parable. Like the instar tunneling to the surface, we must shed our own circumferences, find the divinity within and emerge. Now, we can all speculate what that means. I personally don't know what an instar is and what the tunneling to the surface precisely means, but I believe this is more like evolve and figure this shit out. This bunch of 56 pages, we don't know what they mean. And I will just really quick read chat. Purple one, if you oh god, please. What the fuck is that? You got the first to right. Gotcha, I can spell that with pure Viking women. I was expecting something entertaining, seeing as it's this shit instead. I'll just be fucking off now. Well, I'll say, no one's gonna miss your fucking dumbass. Okay, calling Illy right now. Oh my god, please don't. Fuck, Zen Buddhism is wacky. I actually agree. Zen Buddhism is a bit too wacky for me. I'm more a Vipassana guy. Don't fat shame my circumference. 4D, there is no place in the world where I'll not bully you. Wealth might not be material. That is very Zen. Or Cicada fucked up, they may have. They actually have fucked up in the past. Brother Bitch has solved the Bible. Well, I in fact have solved the Bible code, but I don't believe this is what you're referring to. You should solve the salt mine in your heart. Dumb bitch. How it shows, okay. Watch your slutty mouth, I agree. What the hell are those JPEG numbers? They are... What? Please, the volume a tiny bit. Yeah, but what the volume a tiny bit? More or louder? Or oh fuck, I can't speak English. I'm so tired I can't speak English. That jig, I believe, is furiously masturbating either to my voice or to Cicada, and I'm not sure which ones it is. Louder. Oh, louder. I hope this is better now. Fuck, there was one thing I wanted to still talk about, but I can't think of it now. Maybe I can think of it. For now, we're just gonna look at the pictures that I have in my 2014 folder because some of them are actually fucking hilarious. For example, this this fake introductory picture that someone made back in the day. Greetings to people reading this. We are searching for people. I meant we the first time too. It's not just me. Are looking for intelligent people with intelligence and dedication and resolve and patriotism and heroism to solve this puzzle. We spent countless minutes constructing this elaborate puzzle to trick all but the elite math scholars. A solver is you. This is the last message from me. I mean us. Good luck. Kshikihi. I mean K. I found that fucking hilarious. This is a thing I made. This may go over some of your heads. Hello, I'd just like to interject for a moment. What you're referring to as cicada is in fact 3301/cicada, or as I've recently taken to calling it 3301 plus cicada. Cicada is not an alternative reality game unto itself, but rather another component of a fully functioning ARG, made useful by the number 3301, prime numbers, and lore components comprising a full ARG as defined by 410.org/x. I made this, I'm reasonably proud. This is some gay shit. Let's see what else I have in here. There should be some better stuff. Yeah, the rune pages, the actual rune pages, a lot of them. This is what they look like, by the way. Nothing too impressive. They have these weird decorations on the sides. We're not sure what precisely they mean. We believe they denote sections. What the guy on the bottom here means, we are not entirely sure. This tree, okay, this tree graphic, by the way, we have traced back because they flat out stole clip art from somewhere else and just blurred it, which is interesting. This section is interesting, page 40 onwards, I believe. Yeah, page 40 onwards. Because this, you see these quotation marks here and here. We believe this is a cone, like we've seen before. But this did not so far allow us any angle to decrypt this. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of pages. Lots of fucking pages. Okay. Oh my god. This is actually the fucking worst. Because, the usual suspect, some of you may know who it is, has passed around a fake Liber Primus transcription. I've seen this from at least 3 sources, one of them being DeFango. I've seen this independently confirmed from 2 other sources who they got it from, and they all point to the same source. It is a supposed, or rather it was advertised as a Liber Primus decryption, which it is not. It fits in no way. It doesn't make grammatical sense. The entire thing is fucking pointless. It says fucking nothing. And whoever said this was probably a Neanderthal with severe learning disabilities. No one wrote this originally, but accepted the burden to piece the works together for all eye. What comes next is considered controversial. The object that is used to deliver these thoughts is that used. Like, the writing is shit. And 3301 needs people whom can consider anything maybe for good, even if it's bad, but one must be able to determine which good is bad, as well as which bad is bad. The man in the ice, the one watcher above, the old man with students, and the cold teachings have been considered to be proof of God. This makes no fucking sense. This is completely out of line. Cicada would never say such abject nonsense. Whoever said this should be, like, drowned at birth. And it goes on for like 30 pages. When the guy was asked why there are only 36 pages instead of 56, he said the rest of the 20 pages were music, which again makes no fucking sense. Blah, blah, blah. Both numbers considered to be numbers of cicada wakes. 13 is an early brood of the 15-year broods. The offset to the left is the same mirrored symbolism to gilded collective members are an early brood, and the remaining God believer. The fuck does that mean? Free thinkers are 17-year broods, and they have late broods as well. So put this together, they are Illuminati, beautiful Illuminati. I don't need to read more. Tokens have been hexadecimal encrypted IP address that leaves onion addresses as .txt and PDF files on selected devices, computers, or servers. Tokens have been encoded YouTube videos, darknet videos, blogs, and encoded 3301 comments. This statement, tokens have been, this makes no sense. This is gibberish. This is technobabble. If you watch Star Trek, you find this kind of shit. Like, we need to send all energy to the deflector shields or shit like this. That means fucking nothing. Which are you siding with? Cicadians to work for the active phase, primes to build the cicada puzzles, bees to destroy free and freedom thoughts? Good luck. By the way, Defango read this entire thing, even with his limited reading skills, which I know now a lot about, thank you. He read this entire thing as though it was a deep and impressive text, but it was pure nonsense. I can't believe that people read this shit and genuinely think that it has any merit or weight or something. Okay, this picture has caused a lot of contention. The last puzzle that we can verify happened in 2014, and to those who now yell at me, you can just type in the chat whatever you want. I will shower in your hate later. But 2015 is the last time. 2014 is the last time that we could authenticate the puzzle. We could not solve Liber Primus until now. And 2 years later, Cicada put out this message via Twitter, or rather they linked to it. Hello, the path lies empty. Epiphany seeks the devoted. Liber Primus is the way. Its words are the map, their meaning is the road, and their numbers are the direction. Seek and you will be found. Good luck, 3301. Beware false paths. Verify OpenPGP 7A35090F, which is their PGP key ID. We have interpreted this message. By the way, we can authenticate it. There is a PGP verifiable message in there. We have analyzed this message to bits. Like, the path lies empty. Is there a path in Liber Primus? Epiphany, devoted? Liber Primus is the way. What could this mean? Its words are the map. Huh? Their meaning is the road, and their numbers are the direction. We even have analyzed this seek and you will be found. One person who is in a stream, I have seen him actually, for a while suspected that seek refers to a deeply internal kernel command to kind of move arbitrarily in a file, like 10 bytes forwards or backwards or something. We believe, or I believe, that this message contains a subtle hint, but that we are just not smart enough to understand it. The legitimacy of this message has also been put into question, because supposedly the PGP key got lost or compromised in 2015. None of this is probably true. People like Genki and Defango would like to have you believe that PGP signed messages are no longer valid, but they are wrong. They're just wrong. At no point this is a theme with detractors. I'm just going to go on a tangent for a second. At no point do these detractors offer anything that can be verified. They never introduce a material fact. They never introduce something that you can look at, something that exists, anything. What they have is an opinion, and they present it with some confidence, and sometimes Defango eats while he presents it, and that creates a lot of chewing, and it is reasonably disgusting, but that doesn't change the fact that none of these people have any weight behind their opinions. And it infuriates me, because there are a lot of people who genuinely like to believe that. And I believe that these people are caught in in a very ironic trap. Think about it. Cicada was, as far as we can tell, active from 2012 to 2014. And people still talk about it. People still make these videos about 5 greatest mysteries of the internet, and Cicada is usually number 1 or 2 or something. These people weren't around when the actual puzzles happened. They are kind of left out of the internet glory. Um, and to kind of become part of this, they don't care what is real and what isn't. They don't want the real thing, they want the thing. And they don't care if it is the Chinese knockoff or the failed musician knockoff or the whatever the fuck third world garbage ARG knockoff. They don't care. They want to be part of the internet glory instead of going out and finding their own ways to be relevant. And at this point, I genuinely believe that Cicada is not even in control of their message. They could come out. I mean, they even have. They said verify OpenPGP. They said it again in April this year. They are no longer in control of their message. The morons, the retards, have just taken over and they don't care. They are so narcissistic. They are so in need of mattering that they disregard any obstacle on their way to believing what they have already decided. And they have decided that they want to matter, and they have decided that they want to put all their hope and their faith and their projections for the future into this one puzzle. Because supposedly Cicada will fight the deep state, or they will fucking bring about free energy, or they will fucking get us in contact with aliens, or they... The point is, none of this is fucking true. Not a word of it is true. Cicada is a fucking meme ARG on the internet, and it's dead. And this point has to detonate in the subconsciousness of every single person who, without a shred of evidence, denies the veracity or the authenticity of PGP. And I know that I'm ranting, and I don't care, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. These people, they are parasites upon a cult, all right? Cicada 3301 has been hyped beyond any reasonable measure when it was still active. And when they just, when they just stopped, they kind of left this vacuum, all right? They left this vacuum where a lot of third-grade puzzle developers want to now jump in and like, get themselves a profile. This is a thing that Cicada did really well. They made a bang, they didn't overstay their welcome. They were always about gathering a lot of people and then reducing them down. They sieved them down. They never wanted to stick with a lot of people. It was never about the masses. It was about finding the few of the few of the few who were able, who were capable. It wasn't about some fucking website where that strings along people for an entire year. And if you really believe that, you have been grabbed by your selective bias balls. You are probably so narcissistic that you believe it really is about you. It is not about you. It never was about you. It is not about me either. Okay? I'm the least important cog in this machine. I'm just the guy who talks. I actually did it. When we signed up for Cicada, I did it in 2013, we had to choose a nickname that was not connected to a previous identity in any way. They didn't want to know who we were before. All right? They don't care about who you are. They don't care about who you were. They don't want to know you. They want your knowledge. They want your expertise. They want your mind. They don't care about you. They don't care about helping you in particular or changing you in particular. They are not there to coddle your fears about the deep state. They are not there to make you believe that change is about. They are not there to elect President Trump. They are not there to create a network of love and light energy across the globe to set all our shackled hearts free. This is not what this is about. And yes, I have heard these people, and they all talk abject nonsense. God damn it, these people, they have to live with a constant aneurysm everywhere in their brain. They have to have 15 strokes at the same time. Otherwise, I cannot imagine how brains are so dysfunctional. Jesus fucking Christ. Some people are severely deluded out there, and they will infer all their completely idiotic ramblings and fantasies and products of their imaginations into whatever suits them. And Cicada is has so much lore, or that has enough lore that you can project onto them whatever you want. And if you are not in the game of looking at this from a skilled, reasonable, sober perspective, you can kind of be swept away by it. And these people love to be swept away. They want to give away their control to something else that will make things better for them. Because I believe a lot of people today that I almost want to say believe in Cicada are powerless people. I believe people who worship kind of Cicada or follow them or believe that they will bring about some kind of reasonable change or meaningful change. I believe they're powerless. And I'm not looking down on them for that, but why else? Why else would you go on the internet and talk about these goddamn meme puzzles, right, that are dead for years, that are held up by some imposters that don't know how to make a good puzzle for shit, that lack the technical skill level, that lack any kind of hooks as to make things interesting, that lack the fundamental ability to make an interesting challenge. If you follow these people, you have to be powerless. And it was never about like helping the super powerless. Cicada was about bringing together people who have ideas and who can probably help with privacy and shit. And in 2012, they actually somewhat did that. I mean, Marcus wrote Cakes. Only 2 people ever worked on it. Marcus wrote the code, another one did the crypto review, as far as I know. Cakes is not finished, but it is a smart idea. Yeah. Fuck, Jesus Christ, I was ranting for a while, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but I'm also not. Please check your privilege. I will just read the comments. If you can't break PGP, you need to go back to high school? Yeah, he did say that. Okay. Let me read the comments. This is fucking amazing. You know Defango is better than 3301 than Brotherbox because Defango gets way more viewers. Okay, how many of them are literate? Please answer this question. Have you read their comments? Some of them are so fucking stupid. Okay, drown at a birth. Okay, brood band. They have laid broods. Don't you have a wound to cauterize? I have 2 broods on my chest. No, those are raisins. Dope. What is this? This is me ranting about dumb shit, doughboy. Let me cauterize your vag. Zedric, what? Lol, you bees. What is this? Very limited. He can't read. Disappointed sigh. Bratr. Okay, fuck. Until now. What are you trying to say here? Did no one else catch that? Okay, he's German. What the fuck does until now mean? I demand answers to Hitler loving Nazi. Sometimes I speak too fast and can't English properly. It is almost 3 a.m. here. Please be mindful of that. No, he's Czech. Fuck no, I'm not. Fuck this image twice. He has better English than I do, so that's no excuse. He's not wrong. I tell him daily to learn English after he says fancy shit. It's code for I'm too stupid to understand my own native language. Okay. PGP public key via text. Oh yeah. Some guy did that with Defango. Reason is okay. you can smell the fango through his live streams. I would not say no to that. Chinese 3301 knockoff. Oh fuck Brazilians, man. Jesus Christ. I really don't mind or like care about many other cultures, but Brazilians, they shit up everything, fucking everything. They come in your IRC channel going Aguember, and then I mean, all you can do is burn them. If you ask me. Goddamn, this dude is telling some truths. Holy shit, nice rant. I'm glad you enjoyed. 331 is ancient aliens. I mean, maybe. Free energy. Oh my god. 4D, you pure soul. I'm so glad you don't know. Enlightenment is free energy? No. God, I love when he rants. Glad to be of service. If you can't break PGP, you need to go back to high school. He did say that. And, I mean, depending on the key size, that is true. But if we talk about meaningful key sizes, no. Bravo. Sieved? Yes. Sieved. Okay, let me read. There were some ominous clues pointing to Vegas, and it just sort of ended there a month prior to the shooting. Coincidence, I suppose. Honestly, they just... Okay. Oh, wow. Fuck me. If I hear again that Cicada is somehow in line, or rather collaborating with WikiLeaks, or that they have anything to do with prophecies, I'm gonna shoot myself on the fucking head, okay? This is the dumbest shit ever. In 2015, there was this Turkish coup, right? Where the military kinda wanted to depose Erdogan or some shit. And later people claimed that Cicada predicted this. Imagine you are you are the family of one of the people who were killed. How would you feel if someone told you, well, this person or that person predicted it? This is one of the most insulting and dumbest and post hoc revisionism pieces of bullshit that I have ever heard. These people have no shame. These people are the scum of the earth. Wow, they are parasites. They want to kind of piggyback their retarded cult on the backs of lives that were actually lost. I have almost no words to describe how despicable it is. Shit like this makes me furious. Same with people who supposedly could predict 9/11, or really any incident where people died, because you can't reverse death. These people who after the fact go, well, they predicted it. They are the lowest of the low. These are the people that you can spit at in public without feeling bad. This is so horrible. Wow. And this entire WikiLeaks shit, this is totally unproven. These fake puzzles, or puzzles, whatever, they can make whatever claim they want. But unless WikiLeaks confirms it with an actual statement or something, we have no reason to believe that. We have no reason to believe that. Okay, if Cicada really mentioned the Vegas shooting, it means that they exploit the suffering of real people to promote their awful game. And if that really is Cicada 3301, you shouldn't want to have anything to do with that, because that is unethical in the highest degree. Shit like this drives me mad. Wow. The rant was dope, thank you. I still have to tote the chance that the puzzle push could just be to tie up potential intellect while floating an anti-agenda. Maybe they could just be trying to be edgy. Show your fucking face, faggot. How about you no. Oh, by the way, this other BrotherBox person, they are an imposter. I am important enough to have an imposter. My god. I mean, all you do by coming on my stream and shitposting as me is proving that I'm important enough to impersonate. I mean, what does that say about your usage of time? Show your face, faggot. My face is beautiful. Tauntaun, fuck your face. Her face is beautiful. Should I have a PGP key up my ass? Maybe I have already. Too busy with the real BrotherBox's balls over my face? Maybe. Preach? I do preach. You love my ball. um, all you can do is burn them. I will respect an essay in my DMs by tomorrow. I'm not sure what you mean. The Turkish media claimed Pizzagate was real. The Turkish media is fucking retarded. I had a friend, okay, I have a friend who once told me, look, Turks are farmers. And I do agree with that. A lot of them are just fucking retarded. Certainly the land folk. Apparently some Turks are really intelligent, but the land folk must be brain damaged. Um, Lack of fucking empathy. Yeah, I believe it is. I believe it is a complete maladjustment on their part to believe that it is at all okay to drag actual tragedies, actual deaths, into your awful puzzle so as to make a point. I believe it is highly exploitative. Um, wow. I mean, it isn't hard to think of anything more unethical, but only. I mean, you would have to go criminal to find something more unethical. It's like how Defango pretended to interview that missing kid. Oh, fuck me. That, okay. There is that Bruno Borges kid. Some of you may have heard of him. Some of you may slit their wrists at the mere mention of him. He is that Brazilian guy who supposedly was brilliant and he wrote these books that contained incredible knowledge and then he disappeared. Police investigated the guy and found no reason to investigate him anymore. There was apparently nothing to investigate. The guy was probably trying to get publicity for his books. Now, apparently he later popped up again, but in the meantime, Defango had this one guy on his stream. He talked to him, and he presented him as though he was Bruno Borges, the missing guy. Now imagine if the guy was actually missing, and you can never rule that out completely. How the fuck do you justify having this kid on? And he had a conversation with him for like 30 minutes. And it was obvious that the guy was not Brazilian. You hear Brazilian accents. It was, I guessed Portuguese or, no, I guess Polish or Swedish or Russian maybe. Somewhere, it was European, I believe. Not Brazilian. And Defango had him on for 30 minutes. And it was the dumb, I mean, their conversation was fucking worthless if you ask me, but at no point did Defango really say, look, you need to go to the police. People are looking for you. Your family is worried. You need to call this entire investigation off. No. Defango had him on for 30 minutes and they had a merry conversation together. And I don't even know what Defango was thinking about this. Was he thinking, well, I'm just going to go with it? Because that was, I mean, if that is true, then that is malice. If it didn't know that it was the real guy, then it's just ignorance. It is still an excusable ignorance. It is still an excusable lack of mental processing, of cognition. Can't reverse death until now. Live streamed it. Yeah, he did. Wow, Kek, brother bitch, are you Q? Maybe I am Q. He's more powerful than Q. 4D, you haven't seen my power level yet. Fake brother box, I wish. Okay, well, I wish you were more convincing, but your vocabulary is far too limited. Indubitably. Congratulations, Tartan. I predict strong AI will take over the world and kill us all. I mean, Quinn is just a schizophrenic. Let's be honest about it. He probably has severe neurodivergencies. I'm not sure why anyone gives him a platform. I believe there are better ways to rehabilitate him to go back to society. Don't let it get to your head, Boxy. Okay, first of all, okay, you know what? You can call me Boxy. That's okay. Don't let it get to my head. I mean, this cicada community, it's kind of my home on the internet. I don't want to sound conceited, but I am one of the reasons why people still talk about cicada in 2017. All right. I made I founded the fucking wiki. A lot of people added to it. And we are the biggest and best source about these shit puzzles out there. Defango tried to make a wiki, and it was pure garbage. He made like 5 edits, and they had edit messages like herder and what the shit in all caps. It was awful. He abandoned it, and then he blamed other people for not editing it for him. Uh, if that says nothing about his work ethics, then I don't know. What was this cakes thing you mentioned related to Marcus? Marcus in 2012, together with a collaborator that shall remain unnamed. They worked together on a key escrow system, I believe. It was never completed, I believe, but I have the source code somewhere. Um, when I looked at it, I discovered one crypto flaw immediately. But he was 15, so who gives a fuck? The guy who looked it over apparently didn't find it. Now, technically, this is not necessarily a crypto flaw because you can still implement CBC safely, and you can make the argument that Galois counter mode with the nonces is in fact more harder to manage. But you know, I believe GCM is preferable to CBC. Not clear on the congratulate. Okay, you are very important, Brother Box. Maybe I am. More important than my. Okay. But I wanna be Brother Box. Maybe you do, Vic. I don't know. Relate Shoza, I'm glad you're laughing. Not clear on the congratulations, fake Box. You know what? I'm just gonna call you Fake Box. Congratulations on your fuck's face. Alright, so are we gonna discuss theories going forward? What kind of theories do you want me to discuss? What did they talk about? McDonald's? Link? Link to what? Exactly, thinking observer. Tauntaun definitely wasn't about hair care products. My hair is too shit to put hair care products in them. Don't give him any more views. He isn't worthy. He wasn't worthy of our time. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's just like your opinion, man. I recall this interview. Wasn't he blonde too? I'm not sure if he made a statement about his hair. I'm Defango, lol. That's okay. I love you, Defango. I just figured we knew it was Bruno, but went with the kid in amusement. I didn't. I honestly did not have that impression. Like he presented it. I mean, even in a few streams before, like he was playing. Okay, the website changed. The website changed with this triumphant music, and Defango made this video going, we have known this whole time. Like he presented it as though there was some kind of great reunion. Oh, and then for some reason they decided, what if fucking Bruno Borges, the missing Brazilian kid, wrote Liber Primus? And I've heard Genki repeat that, and this is without a doubt the dumbest shit, the dumbest shit that he has ever said, and he often says stuff that is pretty much fucking inexcusable. If you ever hear him talk about alchemy, that shit is rotten to the core, alright? But Bruno Borges has written Liber Primus as though it was anything but a fuckload of runes is absolutely ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Gah. Boxy is a sexy girl. Box is a fat fuck old German. You don't know that I'm fat. Soon to be 2018, that is true. Don't let being cute go to your head. Okay, I don't know. Shit puzzles? Yeah, these puzzles are shit. NSA has compromised PJP? No, they haven't. I was talking about the Fango faggot, you dense box. You can call me faggot box if you want, 4D. Say it, Bor has. Okay. Let's say Bor has. Whoa, slow it down. No, I don't slow it down. I gotta go fast. I go at least 12 light speeds per sonic. Keck. Okay. Purple one can't handle the truth. Yeah, she's weak. Her mind is not made for the truth. These people. Okay, I don't like all the name calling, but not Genki. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not really okay. The problem with Genki is he is not dumb. He is just very, very wrong. And he thinks in these really weird dimensions. For example, he talks about alchemy every now and then. And if every one of us right here would have a conversation about alchemy, we would go, well, alchemy, who gives a fuck about that? Alchemy is fucking outdated. It is superstitious. It doesn't make sense. Everything in alchemy has been superseded by an actual by an actual science with verifiable findings and methods and good shit like this. So I asked him, what is alchemy? And he went, well, alchemy is a kind of philosophy in there. And I tried to eke out from him what the point of this collusion is, what the point of the confluence between all these different influences is. And I believe he still owes an apology that is intelligible, that bespeaks any kind of sense. FMA Brotherhood, I don't know what that means. Does FMA mean fuck my ass? Because no. We don't want to offend this missing person. Actually, I believe he came back. Purple One, I know that you want to feel his cock deep inside you, but I also don't care. This is my soapbox. I talk about whatever the fuck I want. And if I ramble for like 15 minutes at a time, I will do that. It's just so hard to hear all these people saying so much nonsense, and they feel no shame doing it. That's the worst part. These people feel no shame saying the dumbest shit, and they repeat it. And they repeat it until they themselves believe it and until other people believe it. And then you have this group, all right, where nothing matters, where no outside evidence is even relevant. Because Cicada and internet belief system in 2013 operate on the assumption that anything that can be verified is an obstacle to believing what you have already decided. I'm deeply convinced by that. If you want to believe something, yeah, repeat like LRH's affirmations precisely. Oh my God. I mean, it's hard to not let it get to me because I care about this community. I did do a lot for it. I should maybe have done more. The wiki is still awful, and 4D sometimes reminds me that I should take care of it, but I'm probably not going to because I'm lazy, and working on the wiki gives me anxiety. But do you think we'll hear from Cicada in January? Probably not. Probably not. I'm gonna be realistic about it. You even offered? Yes, 4D, you did. But you are too pure for this world. I don't believe that we will hear from Cicada in 2018. I believe they're done, honestly. Like, we couldn't solve Liber Primus. Why would they come back? What do they have to win? Fuck me? Okay. What would they have to win is my question. Like, why would they? No, I love you too. It just doesn't. Okay, they kind of went out with a bang. All right, they went out with this Liber Primus, and we can't solve it. Why would they go back from that? It's like leaving everything behind was a great move because we can solve this shit. And if they now go back, they would revise all the impact, or retract all the impact that they had. Cicada 2016 to 17 is just a cult. Well, okay, don't be so fast, Vic. It is in fact 15 to 17 because there was a guy. I almost want to play the video because it is damn funny, but whatever. There was a guy who claimed that Cicada puzzles happened in 2015, but we couldn't confirm them either. And they all, without exemption, they all lead to this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name in public because he is sometimes he is a litigious person. I'm not gonna provoke his ire, but if you are an enlightened individual and you wander this world with open eyes, you will find him. They all link to the same person. 2015, 16, 17. The puzzles themselves are not a cult. What is a cult is the communities that have formed around these puzzles. In 2015 or so, there was this Cicadian shit, which was just fucking awful. They had this website full of testimonies where they go, if you read this, I'm already dead, which made no fucking sense. In 2016, there was this Pi Mobi stuff, where where I actually had some inside knowledge of. which confirmed everything that I already suspected. Um, and 2017 is just a continuation of that. It is literally a parallel. No, not even parallel. It is the same line. It is the same aversion to truth. It is the same empty lines of reasoning. It is the same post hoc revisionism. It is the same nonsense. Nothing checks out. And then they invent shit, and this is the worst. There are a lot of people on this Fright Night guy. He claims, well, pi was often mentioned by Cicada. Pi was never mentioned once by Cicada, as far as I can tell. These people just make shit up. And it is pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic how deeply and urgently they need to matter. How much the shit that they always kind of suspected now needs to gel well with this other thing. Their powers of projection and unreasonable inference are incredible. They should be fucking writers or some shit. But taking down the deep state, bro, yeah, no, Cicada's not gonna. Okay, this is one of the worst things. People like Genki and Sherry, although Sherry is nice, but she's just apparently, I believe, misguided. People like them believe that Cicada will help to take down the deep state, and if you are not on board with that, then you don't really understand it. And Genki really sells it with a smug attitude. He likes to pretend that he doesn't, but he does. This shit about taking down the deep state is entirely irrelevant. The thing is, these new puzzles do not teach you any kind of skill, I believe. Not in any deep and meaningful way. If you look at the... Okay, I will try to find it real quick. 2013 TCP server. Let's see if I can find this. TCP server has been tested. We got emails. Add your TCP server code. Oh no. No, don't think that's it. We got emails. Oh, great. This is it. Okay, in 2013, we got this thing. We had to write a TCP server. It must listen to an arbitrary port and send and receive plain text with lines, blah, blah, blah. Then we had to implement these protocols, right? That is, if we get a welcome message, we had to kind of send this back, welcome, arbitrary response text, and then a random number, then a quine. A quine is a program code that emits as a result the program code itself. And this ties beautifully back to the concept of self-referentialism explained in Gür-Lescherbach. Base 29, when they send us a string base 29 with a number, we have to convert that number into base 29. Now, base 29 would be useful for later because the Gematria Primus alphabet contains 29 runes. Code. Upon receiving a code request by the client, the server will send a 0-1 OK response, followed by its own source code. So we send its own source code back. Koan. Upon receiving a koan request by the client, the server will send a 0-1 response, followed by a koan that we had to kind of make up ourselves. I'm not going to show the ones that I thought of because it is embarrassing and technically not even a koan, but I was a dumbass. Diffie-Hellman. This one was actually hard. Upon receiving a DH request by the client, the server will proceed to perform a Diffie-Hellman key exchange using P as the prime modulus. I'm not going to go into very deeply what a Diffie-Hellman key exchange is, but it is a way to exchange a secret over an insecure channel without a purely observing party being able to retrieve the secret that both parties in the end share just by looking at it. It is a bit of magic and has to do with discrete logarithms, but I'm not gonna fucking explain now. Upon receiving a next request by the client, the server will respond with 0-1 OK and listen for text data to be provided by the client. The client will send a dot on a line by itself after the last line of text. So this is a program that we had to code, and we had to hook it up to the deep web so that Cicada could reach us through this shit. This actually taught me more than 2 or 3 years of programming before. This one simple program was I want to say enlightening in a way, because it taught me just so much. Um, and I don't see any of the fake puzzles, as I call them, having anything close to this. I hate the way Ubuntu looks. I hate the way that you look. I do get eye strain. Okay, please. Oh my god, this fucking shit won't let me scroll. Oh my god, please. Blah blah blah. I think you should drop the link and let people defend themselves. Not sure what you mean. I mean, if any of them would like to come on, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm up for the conversation right now. But if they are here, we can, I mean, if they want to offer a counterpoint, they can. I'm not gonna, like, be unfair about this. They aren't here to defend. I mean, I'm not even sure they are here. You have to say please out loud a million. I got your back. I don't need anyone's back. I really appreciate it. Okay, I pick and fight my fights myself, and I'm not even really fighting these people. It's just that I heavily disagree with them on everything, and it is impossible, I have found, to uh, whoa, calm down. It's all good, dude. um, it's impossible with these people to agree on first principles, you know, which is what makes conversations with these people so hard. It's like two entirely incompatible worldviews collide, and the result is often regrettable. Also, I'm sorry that you hate Ubuntu. I have no real choice because I get eye strain. It's really bad. I have tried a lot to debug this shit. And I noticed that I lost maybe one or two people because they didn't like me trash talking people they admire. I literally had people who went, I will leave this Discord because I will literally leave this Discord because BrotherBox is here and he is trash talking someone I admire, like Defango. I believe it was Defango. And the people said, well, good fucking riddance, because this kind of blackmailing is not cool. But yeah, my mere presence apparently is offensive to people sometimes. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I tend to believe it's good. I believe that if people don't like me, I have even heard that they fear me from two people. I believe that means that I have stood up for something at some point. What do you think about when Defango talks about quantum computing and addressing the fabric of time or whatever? I'm not sure what you mean. Earlier today he talked about meditation, and nothing I have ever encountered in meditation is even close to anything he described. I believe his excursions on meditation, I'm not sure if that's at all what you're talking about, but his excursions on meditation are meaningless babble, from what I can tell. The realms of spirituality are very subjective, and there are a lot of ways to get to whatever you want to get. However, it is not connected to any traditional school of meditation. I want to say it's nothing to do with vipassana. It's nothing to do with Zen. Nothing to do with Burmese Buddhism, some shit like this. Why do I still watch Defango? Because I like to hurt. I'm not sure that Defango deeply understands what quantum computing is or does. He seems to be, and I'm just speaking from the outside here, seems to be deeply confused on a lot of fundamental terms. Why do I hate who so bad? I don't hate. Okay, Purple One, please clarify your question. But in general, I don't hate people. Hate is a very strong emotion. Think about it like this. I was part of the cicada community since like 2013. I helped to build this shit, okay? Um, and these people kind of trash my community. I mean, DeFanco has maligned me and us a million times. He said that we from the wiki uh, uh, take take ads, rather take ad money in, that we do this and do that, none of which is fucking true. Uh, in fact, he is often guilty of the same thing. Okay, this is the best thing. He was maligning us for supposedly making ad revenue off the wiki, which was never true, which isn't even possible. And then he turned around complaining that he doesn't get any money from YouTube. He intended at the very moment that he trash talked us to make money off of his YouTube channel, off of Cicada, when none of us have ever made a single penny off of it. And this is the deep hypocrisy that I find seated in him a lot. The fact that he completely glances over the inconsistencies in his own behaviors, and that it is so blatant to the outside world, and that his audience really likes to ignore that. This is so incredible. I have almost no other way but to see them as kind of sheep, and I don't want to sound like an enlightened fedora lord that overdoses on red pills. No. But some people really are followers. And I'd rather be divisive than indecisive. Didn't they make a big deal about wiki ads? Yes, they. Wait, the DeFango crowd? Yes, they did. Oh, they were. He was trash talking us for it, and then he turns around, maligning us for supposedly. And then he made, or rather, he tried to make money off of it. And then he actually cried on camera when he figured out that he would never get to any of the ad money that he had worked for so much. Like, this guy is a bunch of walking contradictions. Bolshevik tactics, boss, give me the pussy, maybe I am a Bolshevik. Actually, 2 years ago, that was a giant meme. Because somewhere I said jokingly, you know what? I fucking love communism, or something like that, some dumb shit. And for the next 4 or 5 months, I heard nothing but Brother Box is a communist on YouTube. I prefer to sound divisive. I'm not sure. Okay, whatever. All I ever heard was him and Genki going back and forth about PGP, so no. Our PGP conversations in the end just got awful. It was just an awful thing to discuss. I hated it. The last 2 or 3 conversations we had about it, I hated them. I hated them with every fiber of my being. Not because I felt like I was wasting my time, but because I felt like the topic was just over and done and stupid. I would just not, like, I would not get through to him. I would not get him to give me anything to prove his point. Does your computer make a camera sound when you screenshot? No, usually not. But sometimes I screenshot shit, and this window manager does. You're jealous of DeFango because he is a leader? No. I could debunk you in several ways, but I choose not to do it because I don't want to flaunt my power level on the internet. I don't need that. Brother Box is a communist? Yes. Actually, I woke up my family. Okay, when I was like 15, I woke up my family playing the national anthem of Russia just because I wanted to get reactions out of people. Nobody ever fucking cared, but, you know, I was a dumb 15-year-old. Well, yeah, right. 4D box. Okay, you know what, 4D? If you really wanna like tell me something, you need to say more than just box. No, I was absolutely an edgy 15-year-old. I did even more shit that I don't want to admit on stream too. Would you fuck Merkel? There are nudes of her, and I would smash that mutty. I'm pretty sure that All Seeing You is recording this somehow. Merkel fucks BB. No, she fucks Germany with the fucking refugees. Didn't one of the architects of 3301 die in 2014? Okay, religious. This is an interesting point. Didn't one of the architects of 3301 die in 2015? Let's talk about it. I have personally corresponded with the guy who is admittedly behind the 2016 puzzle. If any, if experience is any guide, the same guy is responsible behind the 2016 and 15 puzzle, because it all ties to his music, which he now likes to pretend Cicada is all about. But there is not a shred of evidence to support this, but whatever. The claim is this. He said Ian Murdoch. Ian Murdoch was a big number in the Linux world. He was one of the founders of the Debian project. Debian is a widely used Linux distribution known for its stability. In fact, the Ian in Debian is Ian Murdoch. The claim is Ian Murdoch is behind Cicada 3301. Now, when Ian Murdoch died, the Cicada PGP key became unavailable and shit like that. This is where the problem comes in. Ian Murdoch died on December 28th, 2015. If the PGP key got lost with him, then we wouldn't have seen any other PGP signed message after that. However, we have seen one on the 2016 one that I showed earlier was signed on January 3rd. It was uploaded on January 6th. We have seen one message in April this year. Oh my God. We have seen one from April this year. That is also signed. Yeah, Vic, I just said it. So if the PGP key was truly lost with his death, then we wouldn't be seeing these signatures, but we do. They may have retracted the claim, but the guy confirmed to me personally that he had or that was in possession of the PGP key. Now, Genki makes another justification that some rogue members or whatever fucking went apeshit and fucked around and are now signing illegitimate messages. There is not a shred of evidence to support that. You certainly can't prove it from within the system. You would have to have outside proof, which could come in the form of a revocation packet that you can attach to the PGP key on the public. Okay, what you do is you revoke a key, which means you create a certain packet with certain cryptographic information and you upload it to the key server. And in there you can state the reason for this revocation. You can say it's compromised or it's no longer in use or whatever. And this hasn't happened. The Cicada PGP key is not revoked. Only the legitimate party can revoke it. And if you don't have the private key to the public key, you cannot issue such a revocation certificate. And if you do not have a revocation certificate to revoke the key when it's compromised, you are truly a dumbass. I have revocation certificates for all my keys in cold storage. Don't be a dumbass about this. And Cicada supposedly were so into security and shit, but then they commit such basic crypto flaws? No, fuck no. If they are this stupid, they don't deserve to be followed. Cool as that. How did I come into contact with this guy? I'd rather not talk about it in public. I don't want to put the guy on the spotlight without him being okay with it. But, I mean, his email address is out there. It's not hard to figure the guy out. Just do a bit of detective work. Try to see where all the action leads, I guess. Thanks for covering this topic, Brother Box. Well, you're welcome, Katie, but I'm not sure if I said anything that is of value to you. Maybe you just like to hear me rag on about Genki. holy shit, right? Just solve it. um, the point is this: every claim that has been made about someone dying in 2015 is either inconsequential or, or cannot be proven, or can be shown to be implausible or false. From what I can tell, they have no merit. They are not material facts. Yeah, that's my position on this. I had Genki. What the fuck did I miss? A lot of ragging. Dusty vinyl. Nice to have all of you. Nice to have all of you here. I just want to say this real quick. I'm so honored to have 15 viewers. Snow Leopard. Hi Doshi, how are you? I ragged a lot on about Genki and how I severely disagree with practically everything he says. And I find his methodologies deeply absurd. And how much I fucking hate people who rather infer their psychological weaknesses and hopes and projections into meme puzzles on the internet. Yeah, he noticed me. Of course I do, Kohai. Senpai notices everyone. Except for D. Nobody notices her. Yeah, not sure what else to say right now. I believe I have if you want to hear anything, rather if you want to hear me talk about anything else, I give us roughly 10 more minutes. Oh, don't cry, 40. Senpai notices you too, if that makes you happy. But yeah, I don't see how you can. How do we solve LP box? Vic, okay, this is the first thing you need to do. The first thing is you need to believe in yourself. The second thing is you figure out how to implement maximum likelihood decoders with conditional log probabilities onto the ciphertext. And we have done that actually. One thing that we have done is we have downloaded the entire Project Gutenberg, which is 25 gigs or so. We have converted them to runes, have ran probabilities on them, and have implemented a maximum likelihood decoder with, I believe, some error correcting system. And this has been shown to render quite some ciphertext. However, in this case, it hasn't. I can't say much more about that now, but I mean, in the end, you will probably see. So, if the new puzzles confirmed the old PGP, no. If the new puzzles confirmed the old last seen, no. What I'm saying is, if there is any part of a new puzzle would use a known avenue, then we could talk about. Then we could say it's legitimate. For example, if a new link or anything was posted on the Twitter account, because they still have a Twitter account, there are these unsubstantiated fucking dumbass rumors that Twitter is insecure or something, which has been touted around 2015. We have no reason to believe that is true. They could just post a link on their Twitter and have everyone know that they intend to make a new puzzle. None of these new puzzles have used that Twitter account. They could post on the subreddit. They could make a post from the Reddit account that they used in 2012. They could do a lot of shit to prove themselves without necessarily using the PGP key. It may be true that they genuinely lost it, but that doesn't mean that their entire infrastructure is automatically dead with it. The ideal thing would be that a new puzzle signs a message with the PGP key, and then everyone knows. Then everyone fucking knows. The good thing about PGP keys is that every message is non-repudiable. That is, if there is a signature and it checks out, the signing party cannot deny, can never deny, having endorsed and processed this message. That's just how it works. It is not repudiable in both ways. Also, yes, thinking observers, that is in fact good leisure book, and you should all read it if you have the time to. It is a seriously enlightening read. Even if all of that is true, we got a PGP signed message this year. Yes, in April this year. We got. I'm not sure if it says always. Let me see if that is true. No. That is download 3301 2014 2017. Oh yeah, it says always verify PGP signature from 7A35090F. That is the message that we got in April this year. Let's cat this real quick and then blah blah blah, verify. Let's say lang equals NUS. Like there it is. This is all we need to do to verify a message. Defango couldn't verify a message in like 90 minutes with help from Silent One. If you ever believe that he is seriously a specialist in computers, just let this detonate in your subconscious. He took 90 minutes to do what I just did in 5 seconds. Literally the longest thing I had to do was type out the command. And it says right here, good signature from Cicada 3301 7A35090F. The key ID is the last 4 byte of the fingerprint. With some modifications, but that's not the point. The point is, we got this message in April, and it says always verify PGP signature. There is no ambiguity here. There is no weaseling out of anything. Then couldn't they also deny the legitimacy of the new puzzles? Yes, they could. They could explicitly reject them. However, this may just drive more traffic to them, and this may not be advisable or something. I don't know why they don't do it, but it may just be wiser to say in a general sense, in a general sense to say always verify PGP without giving credence to this puzzle or that puzzle, rather this imposter and that imposter. Can you show one of the other messages that were fucked with don't verify? I believe I've done that, honestly. Okay, I've done this before, but okay. Whoopsala. Tmax new session. Okay, great, here we go. Now we have the armor header message, right? This message, and I've talked about this before. We have this message, right, that says you are all faggots, Defango is the king. And if you verify this thing, let me first. We get good signature from Cicada 3301. However, we also get this one, this line up here. Invalid armor header. You are all faggots. Defango is the king. Now, an unnuanced mind like Defango, and he has done this all the time, incredibly often. He went ahead and said, well, this is not genuine because you can just put anything you want in there. However, if you have such a message that says invalid armor header, you are not helpless, and it is paramount to understand that. Would you please? Oh, okay. It is paramount to understand that, because what you can just do is you can empty this line, and then the message is correctly formed again, and it verifies beautifully. If you look right here, after we have verified it, we get a red arrow. Red arrow means that in the course of the verification, something went not entirely right. Let's look at this in detail. Most programs communicate with the operating system by means of a return code. most program, or rather all programs, if things went correctly, return a 0. That is the status code for everything okay. If we print the return code of the verification with the armor header message right here that is faulty, we get a 2, not a 0. If we remove this line, however, and we print it now, we get a 0, which means everything is good. The point is this: if you have a malformed message, you are almost never helpless. You can modify the message, the program shows you what is invalid about it, and people like to think really pretend hard to not understand this. It was kind of a tactical mistake on our end to even inform him about this. Lurker69, usually a very well-respected figure, gave this to him. Because when we just had the message, there was no debating about it. But then Lurker, the fucking dumbass, I will never forgive it to him. He showed Defango this trick, and of course, I mean, he is a non-nuanced mind in this respect. He, of course, took it as, oh, PGP is unsafe, blah, 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 blah. And this kind of destroyed a lot of, I want to say PR, because you really, this is kind of the problem with PGP and people in general. You can't expect non-experts to reason in nuanced ways about technology and about the details. What Defango did was he used a graphical user interface, which hid these armor header warning outputs. We told him a million times that he please use a fucking proper PGP program, but he didn't. Can you? Okay. I wish you would have done a fun stream where we could be mean to each other. Understood what the fuck you were talking about. I'm helpless. I feel you. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing either. Just turn on Purple Rain LP and everything will turn out just fine for you. I miss the retard streams. Well, Purple One, the times where we could all yell at each other in Genki's stream are probably over. He doesn't want to have open hangouts anymore. And I believe that I'm one of the people who are responsible for this. And there are voices, I hear you, Tauntaun, who will deny this. But I kind of put that on myself. Lurker is a faggot. That was fucking awful from Lurker. I mean, I know Lurker for, yeah, actually 5 years now. But that was a fucking retarded move. God damn it. Leave Lurk alone? No, 4D. This shit is inexcusable. Lurk always had a loose mouth. He really did. But this was pants on head retarded. When we watch, the Tart vids. I could try to find it for you again if you want. Or rather, let's just go there. Fuck it, why not? Is it that what you want, Purple One?
My name is William, and I like fingernail polish.
Defango stream in a nutshell, by the way.
My name is Dennis. I like episodes. Could be high there.
My name is Cece and I like shoes. My name is Debbie. I like antiques.
Okay, we get it. Debbie likes antiques. Fucking traffic jam right there. Oh my god.
My name is Scott Micken and I like ice skating.
Apparently she can decode this. I am amazed.
My name is Ruthie and I like gothic.
I'm not sure if she should be in a wheelchair as well.
My name is Amy and I like sing.
And this is the coolest guy of all of them. He is genuinely amazing.
My name is Travis. I am the Moon Star.
Fuck yeah, Travis.
My name is William, and I like fingernail polish. Man,
Bullshit, William.
That I was that I like bears.
I'm sure you do, bud. I'm sure you do.
My name is Cece and I like punk rock.
My name is Debbie. I like antiques.
For fuck's sake, Debbie, you said that already. Go back to the basement. Oh my god.
My name is Scott Micken, and I like music. My name is Chris, and I like dark chocolate.
My name is Ruthie, and I like poetry and art.
My name is Amy and I like to play jokes on people.
Well, I've certainly played a joke on you.
My name is Travis. I like beer. It's good for you.
You know what? Travis just speaks objective truth.
my name is William, and I like to wear dresses.
Well, William, I'm not sure we can help you with that. Okay. I am the moon star. Okay. For some reason, I can't fucking scroll on this shit. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Oh, come on. You fucking kidding me? I just wanna... Oh my god. Do I need to... Okay. Oh god, please, no. This is too much? Okay. My empathy is kicking in, fucking with my brain. Don't make fun of misfortunate people while I am a misfortunate person. Okay, later made, nail polished. What does he get 2 turns? I am the moon star. Well, really it shows that if you really are the moon star, that says a lot about you. And I sympathize with that. You've had to have seen this 50 times and still laugh. I'm not. Yeah, I did watch this a lot. Travis is faking it. No, Travis is a fucking boss, Riddler. How can you not fucking see that? Anyway, I hope you had a fun time here. I hope you enjoyed to listen to my ramblings. I shall bid you good night now. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for being here. I will probably stream next Saturday or Sunday. No, Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure when exactly. Until then, I hope you have a great time and take care, y'all.